Thank you for joining us today at Desertwood Days, and I am your host, Kathy Blaze. Today I am here with Mrs. Lovely Linda Waymire. Welcome.
Hi, Kathy.
Hi, it's been such a pleasure. I haven't seen you in such a while.
I know. I've been hidden away doing a lot of different things, and now I'm crawling out of my hole to get back on the journey again.
Good. I'm glad you're crawling out.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've been busy.
You've been
it's
busy.
Not like I haven't been doing anything, but I've been. I'm going back to my roots again.
Awesome,
Yeah.
Awesome. And I look forward to hearing about those roots.
Mm-hmm.
So, Miss Linda, you're an acting coach.
I am.
You're a performer.
I am.
You do quite a few things out here. You're an actress. You still acting?
I am.
Okay, I knew you're doing quite a few things out
Well,
here.
you know, we all act from the time we're able to speak, even before, and we continue on. I don't think we ever stop acting. My 100-year-old mother is still acting, so I'm just going to say we do it all the time.
How's
We're
Mom
not
doing?
acting officially, but she's doing great, actually. She's a little bit under the weather right now, but she is ornery, so as long as she's ornery and being misbehaving, she's fine. Yeah, she's fine.
That's what I say about my mother.
That's right. That's right.
So, Linda, when did you get into the acting industry?
Well, it happened quite by accident. I used to lead some entertainment performances through the business industry. My husband and I had some businesses, and I would do things that were kind of fun then, put little things together. And then we moved out here in '95. I'm a real estate broker also.
Okay.
I had a real estate company in California, moved out here, got my broker's license, and I had planned to go into the business, and I answered a silly little ad for entertainment, earning something like $5.25 an hour. And I said to my husband, I go, this looks like fun. Can I apply for this? And I was so spoiled. He goes, yeah, sure, go ahead. Whatever I wanted to do, sure, go ahead. So I did that. And the moment I got one of these, the bug hit me. And so I was going to go train with this one person. And another friend of mine said, no, don't go there. And it was a bad choice. I didn't go there. And then I went to see this wonderful lady who became my mentor later, and a surrogate mother, Elaine Stein.
Yes.
And the rest is history. I started to do other things. I was going to pursue my degree because I still hadn't finished my college at that time. And I was going to pursue a degree in theater. Then I decided I wanted to learn acting from some of the best teachers in the world.
Right.
And thanks to a wonderful husband, I had that opportunity.
That's awesome.
I was able to train with teachers from England, from England,
okay,
United Kingdom, and here in the United States. So I trained with Larry Moss, Patsy Rodenberg, and several others who were fantastic. So I put a lot of money into the training, traveling, and again, because I had a really wonderful husband.
Right.
So that's that. I took my training from people that were doing practical acting as opposed to the theory of it.
Right. And with the theory of it, what was the style of training that you were receiving?
A little bit of everything.
Okay.
A little bit of everything. And along with that, I also started a career in hypnotherapy.
Oh.
So that's where my focus went as far as alternate healing was where I got my degree. And I started working side by side with those two, which is where I combined the two to get my gut reacting class, which is the class I trademarked.
Okay.
And so I combined a lot of things from different acting methods. Probably my least favorite is method acting because I think it's not psychologically the best thing for actors to use as a method.
Oh,
and I think you can get great material, great great product out of an actor without having to go into the method acting where you get. I think actors are a little on the crazy side already at times. We already have our issues, and then you throw in method acting where they're living in another place for too long at a time.
That was what I was going to ask you for our audience that may not understand or know what method acting is. If you could explain a little bit about that.
Well, method acting, an actor gets into the body, the role, the thinking of the character they're playing. And I've worked with a couple of method actors. I've done a little bit of it myself. I don't think it's healthy in that you get so deeply in the character. There's some people that do method acting. They don't get out of the character the entire time they're preparing for the role.
Right.
One of my acting coaches who worked with Al Pacino on Scarface said that he was working on the movie, and that Mr. Pacino remained Tony Montana the whole time during you couldn't go into his trailer,
the whole time
that he would change. And I know the same is true for other people. And I worked with an actor when if we went to lunch or whatever, didn't get out of the character. And I don't think that's good health-wise, mentally. So I started really researching, again, doing hypnotherapy.
Right.
I worked a lot with the mind and how that works. So I started thinking about what was healthy for the actor. My philosophy about actors is I love actors. I don't like Hollywood. I'm trying to put that on the table. I don't care for Hollywood. I don't like for what they do to actors. I don't like the direction they take them, certainly what they do to child actors there. I don't think it's a good environment. And if parents are going to take their children to Hollywood, they need to stay right next to their kids 24/7.
Yes.
Don't put your kids in the hands of a casting director, a class, or whatever, unless you're.
And we're on the same page with that. I was speaking with a couple of my other guests about that earlier, about training the parents so that they know these things up front. Right. Because a lot of times the parent is living through the child. Those are their dreams.
Exactly.
So they're sending these children out there vulnerable, not knowing who they can trust or what's appropriate or what's not appropriate. Because for them, that's where I want to be, for the parent.
Well, so Judy Garland's a perfect example of that. Her mother was horrible. And they didn't care if she was drugging her. They didn't care what they were doing, abusing her. It didn't matter. So anyway, so that's my thing. I love actors. I do love actors. I love working with actors who love the craft. I love the craft. Hollywood and the stardom and all that kind of stuff. Now, if somebody happens to get famous by doing what they do, that's great, as long as they don't have to sell their soul to do that.
As long as they don't have to suffer getting there.
Sell their soul to do that.
Yeah.
And by saying sell their soul, I mean exactly that. Sometimes they compromise all their values, everything they were raised for, everything for that little piece of the star. And so that's where I differ from a lot of what happens in Hollywood.
So as an acting coach yourself, how do you prepare them for that? The acting?
I'm just honest. I'm just honest. And that one of the things I've told my students, I used to teach at ASU for a while. I was teaching for film and television there. And then recently I was teaching at a charter school. I was teaching high school and junior high. And I promised my kids I will never lie to you. There may be things I don't tell you because it's too personal from my behalf, but I will not lie to you.
Right.
Which didn't set well with, some of the administration because, they're not always on the same page with you. Tell them the truth, about life.
Right.
And so let's just say we had philosophical differences so that I'm not working there anymore, which is good because I need to be where I am. But so I think it's just important that we're honest. And I think particular when we're working with children, and this is where I've changed a little bit over the years, probably a lot more since when I started working with you years ago. When I'm working with children, I've always looked in their best interest and tried to protect them. I still have that element too. But on top of that now, and the way the world is going, it's important to me. Now I call it chimes. I say we need to teach them character, honor, integrity, morals, ethics, and sincerity. We need to teach our kids that.
Right.
When I was teaching at the charter school, there were 4 words that were on the board all the time. Now I'm teaching performing arts. But on the board, I always had 4 words: character, integrity, morals, and ethics. And I said, I can teach you how to act all day long. We had a photography class. I can teach you how to make pretty pictures all day long. But if you don't have these 4 things, none of that matters.
And you know, those are things that you assume that they're learning in the home, but not always. And it's, I say, no fault to the parents, because a lot of them were taught those things as well.
We have a lot of young parents out there. See, that's the benefit of getting old. I'll be 70 next year. So, 69 years of life, you learn a lot. There's a lot of wisdom that comes. And you know what? I'm not going to get old because I have a young mind. I refuse to get old, but I am going to age.
Yes.
And the nice thing about that age, and my sister was a great example of this. Every time she got added another 10 years, she was happy. Oh, I'm 10 years older. She's 83 now, 82 or 83. And every time she added a new decade, she was happy. So I have that attitude too.
But my mom has that attitude as well.
And you must.
Yeah, she has that attitude
you
as
must.
well. Yeah. And I always tell her, you don't have to remind me of my age. I know how old I am.
Well, my mom asks me, and I tell her I'm 69. She goes, what? And she tells me I'm old. I go, yeah, that's right, Mom. I am getting old.
So, Linda, you work with actors. What advice, as an acting coach, would you give to your aspiring actors?
I would give them the advice to be themselves. And this is something that I've told my young kids, and I would say to my older actors, don't judge. And when I say that, I don't mean don't judge others. And I have big signs on my walls in my other classrooms. Don't judge yourself, first of all. Don't judge others. Don't let others judge you. So just accept who you are, because we're all different. And the beauty of this craft is that's what they're looking for, is different.
Right.
And
you know what? I remember that from class.
Yeah.
I remember those signs.
Yeah.
I truly do.
Yeah. And that's it. That's really what it boils down to. Just be yourself and be truthful. See, in society, we're missing a lot of truth. Nobody wants to tell the truth anymore. We see these things. Oh, how can I make myself look better here and cover the face? It's just like, you go on these dating profiles, which I don't do anymore, by the way. You go on these dating profiles and they have all these things and they have these pictures. You meet somebody, you go, oh man, that wasn't the person I met. Well, that's life the way it is now, in a way. People are not being real. You have social media, different people.
Because of social media, and I say this all the time, you look like this person on social media because of all the filters and everything. Yeah. But then you're invited to sit on the couch with someone. Then you come back, you're like, do I know you?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just totally... But you got to realize that person's going to see you one day.
Yeah.
Especially if you're dating.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, exactly.
You can't take those filters with you.
This is one of the rare days, and I don't have a lot on. This is one of the rare days that I wear makeup. You will not see me wear makeup. I don't care if I go out to dinner. I don't care if I go out dancing. I mean, I put mascara on because eyelashes are horrible. But I really don't, because first of all, it's a pain and I'm lazy.
Well, you look great.
Thank you.
You.
But this is the first day I've worn makeup in a long time.
You look beautiful you always look the same to me. So I don't know how.
You
how
just
long,
love me, Kathy.
I do. I don't know how long I've been knowing you now, but
a long time.
you look the same as day one I met you.
Oh, thank you.
You really do.
A little more wrinkles coming. That's all right.
Well, we all got some
I embrace
of them.
those. I embrace those.
Yes, we all got some of those. I also would like to know, I remember you taught classes, and it wasn't like a class. It was like a family. Okay, and it was theater style, and we did these scenes with partners, and those scenes I felt were so beneficial and important for the growth of the actors. I recall one of the actors that was my partner, my scene partner, and how we built a relationship and how we learned those characters, and not that we became method actors, but we were who we were. We may have been playing Susie, but it was Kathy and whomever. And I felt that was so beneficial going forward as an actor.
Was that in a class?
Yes, it was.
Could it have been gut reacting?
I don't think it was gut
No,
reacting.
because I don't teach method necessarily.
No, it was Karen was my partner. And it wasn't gut
It was just
reacting.
probably a scene
It
study
was a
class.
scene study
Yeah.
class. But I felt that that was so beneficial going forward. I mean, especially for actors learning how to read scripts and breaking down their characters and things like that. That was really beneficial for me. And I've worked with other acting coaches, but I've never had that exact experience.
I'll tell you what might be the difference, and this is, um, and again, classes are always evolving because
Mm-hmm.
as I get older and I learn more, I'm even my gut reacting that I trademarked, that's evolving because as I've evolved and I learn new things, I'm interjecting Tuesday. We're going to do our second week of a session right now. And I'm going to introduce something I've never introduced in a gut reacting class. It's going to be brand new because I've learned something along the way. So it's always
Right.
like that. But even a scene study, let's say, for instance, that I've been doing for years,
Mm-hmm.
if I discover something that I want to do and want to try out, the nice thing about owning my studio is I get to try it out, right?
Right.
But one of the things I noticed about character development and script analysis,
Mm-hmm.
it's no different than life, really,
Right.
Kathy.
Right.
So and if you can you imagine if you meet somebody that you want to start dating and you start doing a script analysis and a character analysis on that relationship, if you start really looking at it instead of just going in glassy-eyed and starry-eyed and not really paying attention, you'll really learn a lot and you'll be more prepared.
Yes.
And I'm not saying to go in to be critical. I'm just saying to go in really pay attention to what's being said.
Right.
Really listening to the words.
That's true.
Most people don't.
That's true. That is true because they've gone in and first off they've listened to what someone else has said about that person, or they have this list that they're trying to check off about that person instead of going there open minded and getting to know that person. So what we're doing, same thing as scene study, we're going off a list that this person should be this way or that way.
And most of it's been written by someone else.
Right.
But guess what? Most of your ideas have been written by someone else.
Yeah.
They've been written by your parents, your friends, your pastors. Those ideas have all been written by someone else. Now you got to find out what's you.
That is so true.
Who you are.
That is so true. Linda, I know you're also a performer.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm doing a lot now.
I love that. I remember going to some of your performances some years ago.
They've changed.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if you could perform something for us here today.
Well, now I understand I'm going to fall into some trouble if I do some of my songs and stuff. So I have to be very careful, because they're copyrighted. I understand. I was going to do a little bit of hip shaking, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not even going to mention the name. But no, what I'm doing now is I'm going back to some of my roots. Somebody a long time, I've always wanted to sing the blues.
Okay.
But I thought I can never sing the blues. Somebody hypnotized me one time, and I started singing the blues. I was hypnotizing this lady. The hypnotist said she needs to sing the blues. And I remember that many years ago. But when it came down to it, I wouldn't do it. Then I told a friend of mine who's a musician, I said, I want to sing the blues. I just don't feel good about it. He goes, you're an actress. Just act like an actress, like you said. So I started doing that for a few years, but I got away from it. But where my heart is in folk, country, things like that. But there's one song that I really can relate to, and I'm going to do it for you real quick.
Who was the guy that used to play the guitar for you?
Thomas Oliver. Thomas Oliver played for me many times. Another man by the name of Gary Catula.
Gary,
yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
How's Gary doing?
He's magnificent.
Okay.
He's crazy as heck. But there's Elizabeth Cotton wrote this. I think she was in her 70s when she wrote it. But it's free. My voice is a little rocky today. But one of the things I loved about this, and it was back in the day when, African Americans have had a difficult time, because of racism and stuff. And it was during. If you ever listen to any of her videos, she's hysterical. She was a little naughty girl, when she was a kid, and she'll tell about these stories anyway. But when I'm dead and in my grave, no more good times will I crave. Place the stones at my head and my feet. Tell them that I've gone to sleep. I'll leave it at that. So when I'm dead, I won't crave any more good times. But let me tell you right now, while I'm living, that's all I do is want good times. I want good positive things. I want great things for my kids. And that's really why I do the things I do now. I have a thing, one of my ads says, I will perform for G-rated, because I'll do things for old folks homes, parties, things like that. I'll do G-rated, PG, what is it, PG-17, and I will never take my clothes off because you really don't want to see that. God's watching also. I can make sure that God is aware of what I'm doing, and because I know He is, so I want to behave. So I like to do a lot of, I say that I have a degree in ciliology. I have a PhD in ciliology. So I do a lot of that. I've been working on the Grand Canyon Railway, performing on the Grand Canyon. I take my little guitar, and my name on the Grand Canyon Railway is Wild Mountain Rose.
Oh my goodness!
So I do have a Facebook page, Wild Mountain Rose, if you want to.
Okay, so you got some new stuff out there going.
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
Old-fashioned stuff. I do a lot of cowboy stuff. I sing in several languages.
Oh. You want to sing me something in a different language?
Well, I don't know what's approved.
Oh, that's right.
I don't know what's approved. I don't know. Do Latin songs get you busted?
I'm sure.
Yeah. No, I do a lot of things, and
so when is one of your next performances here in the Valley?
Well, probably for a retirement home. I just did it for my mom's retirement home. Actually, I have 2 boys and a girl. They're all old people now. My oldest son just turned 51. But his wife is amazing. She plays piano and does a lot of gospel. So the last performance we did was probably a week ago at my mom's retirement home. So that's what I'm working on right now, and doing other venues like that, and then the Grand Canyon Railway.
Okay.
I will not be working at the Grand Canyon because for a while, because and this is something you want to just kind of edit out later. I'm afraid to drive in snow, so I won't be driving up there. So I won't drive while it's snowy. But when the spring comes and the weather's nice, I'll be going back up.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's wonderful.
And that's a blast.
That's sure a blast. It is.
Yeah.
It was such a pleasure having you here today.
It's a pleasure being here. It's so nice to see you anytime.
Great to see you, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, got classes starting. Be sure you go to waymirestudio.com. Got some great classes starting, and that's something that's keeping me busy right now.
Where are you located now, Linda?
Northwest Valley in Glendale, Arizona.
You're still in the same location? Okay.
101 and 51st Avenue.
Okay, I'm going to check you out. And we'll see you next time on Desertwood Days.